They did the fucking same thing last time.
No, and it didn't say. So.
Fuck. No, because I had the fucking volume turned down.
All right, well, I mean, Mulligans and Hackers golf.
Take fucking two.
Take two. So I'm Chris.
And I'm Alvin.
And this is the second time we're recording this podcast.
Because I'm a fucking dumbass.
Somebody's a little computer illiterate tonight.
God damn it. I fucking hit the record button. So we've just been recording for...
Over an hour.
Well, almost an hour.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, well, because... Yeah, almost an hour, and I didn't have record hit. We were just talking into mics, like doing nothing. So here we are, take two. I will take all the abuse that you want to dish out because I'm a technologically inept douchebag. Okay?
I'll just give it to you over time. It's
God,
okay.
Damn it.
So, it's it's still cold outside, so we went down to the Sims over the last couple of weeks and started up our sim league.
We started our sim league, and we talked about this already extensively for almost an hour, and we're going to do it again.
Yeah.
But so it was Kapalua.
Yeah, so we're down in Cottonwood again this year. We didn't play last year, but we're down in Cottonwood again for the sim league down there. Basically, it's a 10-week sim league.
10-week sim league,
and we play the same courses that the pros are basically playing. So the first one was Kapalua Plantation Course. Now we did a practice round a week earlier.
Yep.
With the same conditions and the same setup, the same tee boxes, same gimmies, the same everything on there, just so we could see what would happen. We played that one, and I think,
pretty decent.
Yeah, I shot +1.
I shot +8.
Yeah, which fantastic.
I triple bogeyed the first hole.
Yeah, you started 3 over. And you brought her back.
But I had 2 birdies in that front 9.
And I had
in the practice round.
And I had four birdies on the round, and ended up.
Because you were going into the back like 1 under.
I was 1 under
in that practice round.
Yeah, and I mean, it is what it is, right? Like it's simulator golf, so I would expect.
So in this league, they use the first 2 weeks to kind of get your handicap, put your baseline handicap in, and then you play from there. And your handicap does get better or worse depending on what happens. Like they kind of average it, right?
And so then our second week course is the American Express course. So it's the White Rock,
Whisper Rock upper.
Yeah, so that's actually this week's.
That's the one we'll be playing
PGA
next.
PGA Tour course,
right?
And that's where we're playing this coming week.
So which one did Nick Taylor just win?
He won the Sony Open.
Okay.
So that was the one that was in. They were on the other side of the island in Hawaii.
Okay.
So we did that, and then a week later we went back out and we played our actual
sim round, and I shot +13.
Yeah, you were 5 shots worse.
Yep.
And I was 7.
I didn't triple bogey number 1 either.
Nope.
But I just didn't have any birdies. I took a drop on a hole that I played very poorly the practice round as well.
You made a poor decision.
Yeah.
But you didn't really care. Not
saying we're sandbagging or anything, but we've played in this league a couple years ago, and starting the league off in the single digits. It doesn't help down the road because I didn't make the playoffs in that last season.
Yeah, and I did, and I got knocked out in the first round. I had to give the guy like 9 strokes. It was fucking ridiculous. But yeah, so you shot 80.
I shot 86. No, 88.
88.
Yeah.
You shot, no. 86.
86.
86. Sorry, you were +13, 86, and I shot a 81, a +8, 81.
And Clark shot an 84.
Yeah, Clark shot an 84. He came out and joined us. He's not in the league, but he came out and joined us. He had a really good front 9. Both him and I were shot 39 on the front, and then I shot three better than him on the back. So, but it was, I had a couple doubles in there, or a double and a triple in there that just didn't really need to be. But again, we're trying to set the baseline for our season and give ourselves an opportunity. I would think. Both those handicaps off the first round are relatively close to where we are.
Well, my Golf Canada handicap is 13.
Yeah, and my Golf Canada handicap right now is 9.9. So with the gimmies, like the gimme circle of 6 feet, because that's how we play on there, so we can actually get it done. With the gimme circle of 6 feet, I would expect 1 or 2 strokes less than probably our handicap, because you're really. Those putts inside of 6 feet, You can miss those a lot.
Yeah, you
Like
can.
they're very
Well,
missable.
I think that was one of the things Clark said. Yeah, or somebody at work, somebody in that I was talking to this about. So the gimme circle, and I said, well, 6 feet, and they're like, yeah, because you never miss any putts inside of 6 feet, right? And I'm like, well, yeah, I do actually.
Yeah, all the time. All the time we do.
But yeah, I didn't play too. I mean, we talked, in take one, we talked about I'm going through a swing change, so
Yep.
I work a lot on it at home, and now it's nice to be able to go to the sim once a week and put what you're working on into practice. Because again, I'm whatever happens in the league happens in the league. But I'm working on this new swing. I say new swing. It's just me making adjustments in my swing, getting my hands a little closer to my body, forcing my hips to get through to make sure that getting rid of the chicken wing, forcing my hips through, trying to generate a little more power with my irons and stuff. Again, my swing is a work in progress. Always has been. Always probably will be. But this little tweak that I'm trying to do, again, a lot of elements because the golf swing is very in depth. It's going to take a little time. Thousands and thousands of swings to make this work, right? So that's what I'm kind of focused on for the league. Because I'll be going down and getting a few more sim sessions in, practice sessions in before we play our rounds and stuff.
Yep.
I'm not just going to go down once a week. It might be a Saturday Sunday type thing. Because again, I want to work on this. I want to have it. I wouldn't say ready for next season when it starts, but I want to be well into being comfortable with this swing when we hit the course. Because again, we're going to the AGT event is the first major on the AGT event is May 10th and 11th, I think. That's at Copper Point.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
we just got a sneak peek at the schedule for next year in the AGT. So I think we're both probably going to make the opening major.
Sure, going to try.
All right. I'm
My schedule's kind of opened up in May a little bit now. I mean, we will be just coming back from Billings, so I might have to finagle a couple extra days off there, but we'll figure it out.
I know. Again, I'll be able to make it because it's already kind of in our schedule.
I'll finagle days off. It's not a big deal. I got this.
But again, it'd be nice to go up there a day before, get an Airbnb, and do a practice round on, say, the Friday, and play the 2-day major Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I usually play rounds pretty good on the first one typically. So, like in the past when I played a practice round and then played after, I don't generally play as good.
Okay, well, we definitely need to get the practice round on that.
I mean, we won't be in the same flight anyways, probably.
No, probably not.
Because I'm like BC and you're like CD.
Yeah.
I mean, and if I can continue where I'm at, I'll be going probably more into B, which is a scary thought for me. But
it'll be nice to see. At least you won't get any W's on the AGT.
You don't know that. I mean, there is a possibility that still might happen. You just don't know.
Yeah, but again, that's what we hooked up and joined the AGT for, was those type of challenges and those type of experiences, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
we might do this. Again, I guess speaking for me, like this is my year to play on the AGT tour, to get as many events in 1 year as we possibly can, because maybe in 2026 I don't do as many because we'll be traveling, playing golf a little more in 2026. Maybe, who knows?
Yeah.
But this is our year to get as much AGT golf in as we can.
Well, I'm thinking probably like 10 events.
How many events are there?
Like 16, 18.
Wow, over half. Wow, that's yeah.
I'm thinking 10. Like, I mean, I think we can do 4 majors.
We don't want to talk too much about the schedule
we won't give it
until it comes out, because we want to get Leon and kind of go over the schedule.
But I'm looking like
there's a 2-day major close to us that we're probably going to make happen as well.
Preliminary looks. I'm thinking 4 majors, and like there's quite a few 1-dayers that are within reach. Because it's all in central Alberta, central South Alberta, right? So I mean, there's quite a few that should be in and around Calgary that should be doable. I mean, we'll obviously go back to Mickelson.
Yeah, that's a.
So I mean, that's 5 right there.
I mean, fair enough.
You can add them up quick.
Fair enough. Yep.
So it'll be interesting. I mean, again, the goal once we get on
the match play in Ponoka would be a fun one to go to as well.
Well, that's a major, so we're gonna get that.
Okay.
Like, come on now. Like, if we're gonna do it, you're gonna do it right. Don't just dip your foot in the water, or dip your toe in. Just jump right in.
But yeah, I mean, again, those type of things that are coming up, and again, like I said, we'll get Lee on when the schedule's dropped, and we'll get a good in-depth look at what the schedule is for the EGT coming up in 2025, and we'll keep going with our sim league. What's our next one?
Whisper Rock.
Yes, Whisper Rock is the next week number 2 in our
we haven't
sim
seen
league.
the results for this for our first week yet, but I mean we'll have them by the time we talk about Whisper Rock. So
for sure.
I don't remember playing Whisper Rock, so might be a new one that we haven't played before.
That one is shorter than Kapalua. So Kapalua was 6,359 yards from the greens.
Yeah.
Whisper Rock upper is from the whites 6,191.
No, that's not bad.
So it's not bad.
Well, a couple hundred yards short.
I thought, and again, this might be my age and my memory.
You're kind of old, so.
But I thought that Kapalua, when we played it 2 years ago, was way shorter than what we played it this year. But that just could be my memory. And again, I don't hit the ball far in the sim, so like.
But I mean, like Kapalua is massive elevation changes. Like you can be hitting 30, 40 yards up, and then you can be hitting like 50 yards down, and it's the land of 400-yard drives on some holes.
Because you almost got there on one drive.
I mean, it's just. But I mean, it's all the elevation changes, right? I mean, like 18 is classic for guys like Bubba Watson. You see Bubba Watson.
Oh, right, Bubba Watson,
DOD
with the
off the deck,
DOD with the banana slice dogleg left, right? Yeah.
So it's a fun little course to play. I mean, the greens are always tough. The short game's always tough in the sim because it says you got like 60 yards, and you're like, but how do I hit a 60-yard shot when I can't really like see it to determine how far I actually have to hit that ball? So that can be a little bit of fun. The putting can be a little bit of fun. Like it really takes away my strengths of my game, I feel. So it's again, you always say it's like playing a video game, which essentially it is. So I mean, every time you go down there, you got to relearn how to play the video game.
It almost seems that way, right? Like because we'll play on the range, and the numbers you get on the range are way different than the numbers you get when you're playing the 18-hole course.
Yep.
And it almost seems like because they changed the conditions to like game type conditions when you go play the 18 holes, and it's almost like when they do that, you actually have to learn all the shots every time you go down and play. That's the feeling I get, anyways.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean, like the first time we were out there, my putter was on fire. I was draining everything in that practice round, and like I had my short game dialed right in. Second time we went out there, it wasn't quite as crisp, right? It just slightly different, and you could tell in the scoring.
Yep.
And like that's where those 7 shots come from. And I mean,
because I think I had 2 birdies in our practice round. I didn't have any birdies in the league round.
Yeah, I had 4 in the practice, and then I had 2 in the regular round. So I mean, it's good. It's fun to get out and swing the clubs and just stay.
But again, it gives me the opportunity to work out some stuff at home, and because striking the ball is a big part of. I can stand in my living room here and swing golf clubs all day long, but I can't make contact with the ball because I don't have the room. It's always nice to go to the sim and feel the contact, right? Because I can do all the swings I want, but if I'm not hitting a golf ball, I'm not actually doing anything.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how I look at it, right? I got to hit a golf ball to see how this is working out, and yeah, you can tell that there's some. Sometimes it's kind of snap hooky. Sometimes it's a little slicey, right?
And the nice thing about the sim is like they have the camera right on the ball, right?
Yeah.
We know, like you can tell it's like, oh, that was really Healy or Hosley, or that was Toey, or that was high on the face, and then you get your feedback to tell you whether you're right or wrong on the field.
But what I noticed in the last few sim rounds we've played is when we hit the ball, we know immediately what we've done, whether we're hosling it, whether we're towing it, whether it's high on the face, right? And we'll say it like as soon as we make contact, it's like, damn, toey, right? And then you can look up on the TV screen and you can watch your club coming through the swing plane in slow motion. You're like, well, there it is, right? Like really toey. Who hit the one off the top of the club?
Clark.
And it literally went straight up. He almost took out the camera.
Well, you were in the bathroom. You were in the bathroom, and I hit my ball. Or, sorry, no, he hit his, and I was just getting ready to hit, and you came out, and I'm like, you got to see this. So I pulled over, and I just hit play on it to rewatch the swing back, and it was the most ridiculous thing ever. He literally hit underneath the ball, barely hit the top of the ball, and I want to say it went like 45 yards on the sim. Didn't go very far.
Where'd the actual golf ball go, like straight up?
Yeah, it was basically straight up. Basically, like you could hear the plaster off the top of the roof, like falling down.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so bad.
That was good.
But I mean, that's the same. Like I almost got killed 2 years ago with Darren in
You
there.
did. You
I,
did.
I crushed or I hit a high wedge shot and it hit one of the metal bars and came back and hit me in the head.
I think we have a picture of that.
Could have. It hurt.
Somebody sent me a picture of that.
Yeah, that one hurt. That one didn't feel very good. But I mean, it
is fun to get out and swing the clubs in again. Like I'm gonna work through this now through the winter, but like when you're doing a swing change or tweaking your swing, which I'm doing, bringing my hands in a little closer and making sure that I'm controlling that chicken wing. Thousands of swings, man. I'm into this for thousands of swings before it starts to get comfortable.
Doing the sim just makes it that much better, that or more likely that once you get to the outdoor, like in a couple months when it gets nice, once you get back on the course in the outdoors, you're ready.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to lose a part of your season, right? Because I mean, again, the first major of the AGT is like the golf courses will barely be open.
Yep.
By the time that puppy rolls around.
That's true. So you won't get much outdoor action before you're actually on the course.
Yeah, you might in some spots depending on how the weather is. If it gets nice early, you might have a week or two. But I mean, there's a good chance that you might just be coming in kind of
right out of this
right out
of the sim and right onto the golf course.
Right
on the
AGT. What's the last weeks of the sim?
Last week of the sim is March 10th to 16th.
Oh, okay. So 10th to 16th, yeah. So I'll be away off in Mexico.
So our next one for the Sim League is Whisper Rock. Then we got the PGA West Stadium.
Yep.
Then it's Torrey Pines, which fucking eats me up every time. Pebble Beach, which I enjoy playing.
Yeah, Pebble's fun. It's got that one par 3 that you can
number 6
go after it.
Yeah.
You almost got
almost aced that one. Yeah, you can see that on our socials. Then we got TPC Scottsdale, which again another course that I struggle on.
I want to play that one in real life.
That one's 6,625 yards.
Ooh,
so
she's long.
Then we got Riviera.
Yeah, and which will be our Airbnb is right off onto that golf course. So that would be I might even be playing that while I'm down in Mexico. I'm gonna try and get around there.
That would be awesome.
Pretty slick.
Make sure you get some video for the socials. Goddammit.
Oh yeah. It may or may not work out, but I mean, at least I'll get some video for sure. That course is real nice.
Yeah.
Got some.
Then we got that Shinnecock.
Yeah, Shinnecock.
Shinnecock Hills.
I don't even know where that one is.
Then we got TBC Sawgrass and Grey Wolf to finish out our sim season.
Grey Wolf be tough. How long's Grey Wolf?
Grey Wolf is to be determined.
Oh, TBD. Oh, yeah, because that's probably
Sawgrass and Grey Wolf are TBD.
Those are probably majors or like depending on how everyone's doing. So I think depending on your handicap, they'll change.
Mm.
So depending on what your handicap is, it'll change your tee boxes or your tee markers.
Yeah,
right?
that sounds right.
And then we have playoffs after that if you make playoffs.
Right.
So there's 47 golfers, which is the most ever for this sim league. So I think it's the top 32 make playoffs. And then like if you finish first, you get your own set of custom Callaway irons. Second will get a custom driver, and I think third gets wedges.
Nice.
So chances of winning are pretty slim when there's that many guys golfing and that many guys yanking up their handicaps because a lot of guys play the sandbagging game. But
yeah, well, again, I was not going into this season shooting single digit numbers in any of my events like I did 2 years ago, and putting myself in a position where I didn't even make the playoffs. But so early in the season, it's nice to go through a swing change because it helps helps get that handicap into the double digits.
Yeah, I'm just excited to see where it goes. I'm happy with the way I'm swinging the ball. My driver seems to be staying relatively consistent now, and like more distance and coming a little straighter. I feel like I've added like 10 or 15 yards on every club, which I didn't need, but it for whatever reason, it's up and down the entire bag.
But again, for you on the sim, that's one thing. But when you get out on the course, then you can see if it's actually translated to the course.
But it just feels like on both simulators that we've played on this year, both.
But if it does translate to the course, like you're talking about 10, 15 yards, you'll be able to navigate that relatively quickly.
Yes.
On the course.
Yeah.
Right. Because again, you'll put in a lot of wedge work to make sure that the lower part of your bag is dialed in again. It's just
crazy though, because I mean, like number 3, let's say like you hit a drive out there, and maybe you got like 220, 225 left. Well, now I'm hitting like a 7 or or even my 6, which is usually good. And it's like, yeah, you're probably gonna be on the green. You hit the straight.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you get it out there, right? Like guys are hitting freaking woods, and I'm hitting a fucking iron.
Yeah. Well, again, and we play from the different tee boxes now because I had a great chat with Gina Nelson about the tee boxes, and she said, yeah, well, it's always good to play from different tee boxes because if you're playing from, say, the first tee box in from the tips, you're working on long irons in, you're working on hybrids in. If you move up a tee box, well, now you're working on irons in, you're working on wedges in. She goes, you need all those aspects of the game, so it's always beneficial to you to play different tee boxes.
That's a great
right.
Good
And she's like, you're learning the game. You're not just going out there to put a score down. You're going out there to work on stuff. And it was kind of one of those moments, right? It's
yeah,
like,
for sure.
Because we talked about it this year. We played a lot. We played different tee boxes this year.
Yeah. We played the whites. We played the yellow whites.
We would play the hybrids, right? And playing the hybrids is a different game. That's where I shot my best score.
Yeah,
this year. Like almost, I shot an 80.
You don't have
right?
the long irons.
I don't have the distance off the tee box
That's
either, right?
Yep.
That one of the most difficult holes there is number 8 and number 15. Well, number 8, if we're playing from the hybrids, I can cut the corner.
Correct.
Right?
Dog leg left, yeah.
It's a dog leg left, and I can cut the corner. Whereas when we're playing from the whites, I
barely get it to the corner.
I can barely get it to the corner. So again, it changes the game you're playing, and it changes the game for you. And we had to explain this to guys that we golf with, because again, these guys, they are hacker golfers like us, but they're not into, say, the AGT or other types of things that we're into. And I said to the guys we play with, like, if we were playing on the AGT event, if we were playing in an AGT event at Medicine Hat, we all would be teeing off. Maybe not you, but we would all be teeing off from the hybrids, because that is where our handicap tells us we would be teeing off from.
Yep.
So we would be teeing off there. And us as idiots, we're playing from the whites every round. And now we're coming to our home course and we're going to play from a different tee box. So every hole we're going to have a different look.
Yep.
Why would you do that to yourself?
100%.
So again, Gina Nelson really put that in there. It's like, well, why wouldn't you play from different tee boxes? You work on different parts of your game when you're doing that, right?
It makes 100% sense when you say it that way.
Right? And she's like, I play from different tee boxes all the time. She goes, I have a home course, right? Play back when you want to work on things. Play up when you want to work on things. Hey, this isn't working for me today. I need to work on my wedges and my short irons. I'm playing the tee box forward so that I'm hitting those things into the greens, and now I can work on that. And I was like, yeah, that's talk when we talk to people like that on the pod, and you get, because we don't know, because we haven't been playing the game long enough, and we've only just last year started expanding our golf world, I guess, when we started playing on the AGT and doing more scrambles and stuff. It's nice to hear those things. It's like, guys, go work on things. Go play the game a different way. Go do things that you don't always see on TV, right?
Yep.
Like, go play from different tee boxes at different courses. If it's a course you don't play all the time, pick a tee box where you can put down a good score, because you want to work on your approach shots.
Yep.
Right? And yeah, I thought that was really great advice from a PGA of Canada professional, right?
Absolutely. It's funny because we, looking back now, we've kind of always done that, because even out at like Cottonwood, like first year we kind of just played blues.
Yep.
And then second year we'd play blues, we'd play blacks, we'd play blues, we'd play blacks, occasionally we'd play a little further up, yep. Right? And I mean, looking back, it's like we wanted all the different looks, and just, well, again,
it was kind of funny because the last season, not last year, but the year before, the last season we played there, we would play, because we played from the tips down there, because it's a short course, par 66 executive course, not that long, 4,000 yards, something. Because only one par 5, and from the tips, that's not really a long course. But again, moving up and down, change the way you played the course. Right?
Well, some of those tee boxes are like 30, 40 yards and higher up in the air.
Yeah, that's right.
That makes a massive difference.
That's right. And so, yeah, it was nice. It was nice. Again, speaking to guests that we have on, it's kind of cool because we get that type of that type of feedback, that type of advice to say, guys, don't just stick in a comfort zone because you want to play from your tee box, which is the whites at Medicine Hat that we normally play. Just play there all the time because you're working on your game from that tee box. Well, no, because you're only working on static things every day. Like, you're trying to lay down a score from the whites the best one you can instead of working on your game. And as the season was closing down last year, I was doing that. When I was going out playing 9 holes after work by myself, because you were off coaching, I would go play 9 holes by myself, and I would hit 2 balls, right? And I would just play 2 balls on 9 holes, because now you're getting 2 shots into the green, you're working on stuff, and
Yeah, for sure.
and I would play from the hybrids.
I used to do that all the time at the par 3.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
Like if I was out there by myself.
So it's nice to hear some like different types of techniques, because we're
Yeah.
obviously in this to make our game
that
better.
makes me think like if things continue getting better, continue on the trajectory they're going this year, like playing the odd round from the Blues.
Yeah.
Just pushing yourself a little bit, challenging yourself
From
right?
the tips.
From the tips.
Yeah.
Challenging yourself, like not all the time, but once in a while,
Yep.
throw a challenge
Yep.
down for yourself.
Well, again, I'm looking at those 2 holes, the 2 hardest holes, number 8 and number 15, and from the Blues, unless I get another 50 yards on my drive, there's no way
the blue on 15 is the same as the whites. Like it's basically identical.
Oh, I guess, yeah.
They're not too far different. But the 8's different. 8's a good probably 30 yards.
Yeah. But again, you're right. Like, then I have to work on, 3 woods, 5 woods.
Yep. Yeah, force yourself to swing a different
Force
club,
yourself
right?
to...
Because, you're not wrong, because you get into your rounds and you're like, I'm hitting the same club every time.
Yeah.
Hitting the same club every time.
Unless you hit a bad shot or an extremely good shot, you're hitting the same clubs from every spot, right?
Yeah, which is why sometimes I'll go tee off and I'm like, I'm just hitting with a different club today, because I just want a different look at this.
Yeah, so...
Which is fun. But, that's just the evolution of our game, right? It'll continue to grow, and as we continue down our sim league and we get our swings in, we go into the new outdoor season, and our transition is going to be a lot easier than it was last year, because we talked about it last season. We didn't play in the sim league, and it took us a little bit to get going. Not as long as the previous seasons when we haven't played, but it took us a little bit to get going. And I really feel like a few months of even just swinging once a week is a huge benefit.
I agree.
It just keeps your rhythm and your swing mechanics in line, and you don't have to search for all those markers again when you've been sitting around not swinging the club a lot, right? And you got to refine all that. Like I know for the first week when we were back when we did the practice round, the first couple swings, it's like I got to find my markers again. Like, where am I here? And now like when we went back for our competitive round and we played, it was I got my markers now. I know where I need to set up. I know where I can make my adjustment, where I can hit things. And, it comes back a lot easier when you're not sitting and not swinging for months after.
I may not have enjoyed the Sim League 2 years ago, because, again,
for its own reasons.
For its own reasons, right? But I did miss not swinging the golf club last year.
Yeah,
consistently throughout the year. So that's why we kind of got back into it this year is, at least minimum once a week we're going and hitting balls in the simulator. And like I said, I can make swings in my living room all day long, but I need that ball contact to see what's happening. Because again, with this tweaking that I'm doing, in the practice round and my league round that I'm saying, sometimes I get a little hooky, sometimes I get a little slicey, right? I just need to swing more swings. Again, thousands and thousands of swings to get comfortable with this adjustment, right? So it's nice to start getting a few hundred swings in during the sim season.
Yeah, for sure, man.
So
it's nice and it's fun, and we'll see where the sim league goes from here and see how well we do.
Yeah, it's Whisper Rock next time, so we'll do a pod on Whisper Rock, and we'll update you on the stats of week 1 in our sim league and go from there.
Well, hopefully we don't have any more technical issues here, Cheeto.
Take 2 done. And we'll tap this one out.
All right, later, guys.
Take care.